Hello and welcome to this Sunday Night Championship podcast with me, Stephen Hawken. I have taken Gareth hostage and I am holding him at gunpoint. Oh no, well, here comes those bellends who call themselves drivers and presenters. I better show them my wheelchair diving skills.
Yes, guys, we are back for another podcast. Unfortunately, Gareth is, as he says, taken hostage. But we do have the normal suspects of Ben and Rob joining us. Hello, guys.
Yeah, my lunch just all over the TV there. Oh, that was funny. Bye.
So I think we'll let Stephen Hawken we'll let him join us for this one, for this podcast.
Thank you.
I think it's fair he has his say on the situation.
Pardon?
I think it's only fair that he has his say on this situation that's arose.
Yeah. So Stephen, what do you think about Gareth's comments in the last podcast?
At least I am quicker off the line than him. How do you think I caught him?
Oh, ouch. Harsh but fair, Stephen.
Yeah, but you gotta be cruel to be kind.
Yeah. So let's, without further ado, make a move on to the actual what we're here for, and to talk about the Monaco race that we have just witnessed. So qualifying was an interesting affair, as per usual, as I say most weeks. So who would like to do this? As I say most weeks again.
Rock, scissors, papers.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
What you got?
What do you got first?
Well, that ain't gonna work, is it?
I got something. I can't. Stone.
Scissors. Oh, you win.
All right. Okay. Play the music, John.
Go.
First place, Paul, with his debut, Hendrickson, with a 1:14.715. Second place, Mars, closely behind, pushing hard, with a 14.8. And just behind him, Dean on a 14.9, with an outstanding qualification there from his first Red Bull, 15 flat. With another outstanding qualification in 5th place from Robin Oxshurst at 15.1. Is apparently his best drive of the day. His best, not drive of the day, what am I talking about? Best lap of the week. 6th, guy, Gareth, 15.2.
Who's no longer here with us.
Yeah, he's been taken out. And then 7th, Gaza, with a 1:15.7. I don't think he had a single squeak in practice, so that wasn't too bad. Carl coming in 8th with 16. Baldy 16.5. Don't know what's going on there. F1 Dragon 120.2. I think that was it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Stephen, what do you have to say about that?
I would have been on pole.
Of course.
I can't think of
Of course you would. Yeah. If we had a 4th wheel.
I think we're a non-assist league as well. And
Yeah.
you run a few assists, don't you, Steve-O?
Fuck off.
Very well put, Stephen. So, yeah, let's move on to the race highlights.
Okay, do I press the button now?
Yes, you do. Stephen, that includes you. You need to press them as well. So Dean off the line, starting in P3. See, Amari gets a pretty good start, tries to challenge Indrek, but unfortunately gets pushed wide, and Gunnar Gamble storms up the hill and
Sneaky.
takes P2.
That's
Hits the wall a bit there, but nicely done. Now I believe it is Rob.
Hello.
Go.
It's still Dean. Okay, right. Yep. Lights go out. Ben comes over. We do the old Red Bull switcheroo. I kind of wasn't sure about room. I wasn't sure about the corner. Thought I could get past Ben, but no, didn't happen. So I thought I'd just follow him, see how it goes.
Get back in your place.
Yeah.
Not bad for a number 2 driver there, mate.
Oh,
Oh, and look, there goes Stephen past Gareth.
Oh, yeah.
What a wonderful start by Gareth. He's lost 3 positions by the first corner.
Right, Carl hits the barrier, comes back, takes I was going to call him Stephen then, Gareth's wing off. He's on primes as well. I didn't realise he started on primes. God, his telly's got a good quality picture. Early end for Carl. Now, this was sad. We could have tried to get Carl on.
Unfortunately, he was still recovering from his traumatic experience with the wall.
Oh, he just hit that wall as well. That's terrible.
Yeah, so because of his damage, he got a bit of understeer, and kind of just went straight on.
He just floored it, didn't he?
Yeah, and a nice close-up of what Gareth saw there, which I can only describe as terrifying.
And that's a good picture with the quality Samsung high-definition TV. Front back.
Brought to you by Hitachi.
Right, what's going on here? So, lap 3, Dean following Indrek. Oh, bit of a touching of barriers, and then is this where Mars gets through? Sneaky.
Yep. So this one, basically, if you're looking in the mirrors, you can see everyone from the top 6, and on the minimap, you can see how close everyone was. So basically, if you made a mistake, you were going to be punished. Yeah. So how did you find that, guys, seeing as you were both in that front 6?
Yeah, I was a little bit frustrated for the first stint, to be honest. I thought I could have got past Ben and pushed on a bit, maybe got in a bit of trouble with whoever was in front, but I just couldn't get past him. So I just kind of...
It was the same for me with the guys in front. I knew Indrek was holding us all up, but there was just no way you can overtake her on the track. It was just impossible. Thought about letting Rob through at some points, and I realised how close Gaza was, and I was like, I can't really do this without losing 2 positions. So I thought, we're all in a train, so I was planning on pitting earlier than Rob did that, and I was like, balls. So yeah, but it was a good little fight. Everyone managed to stay in line and not hit each other, so that's pretty skillful in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just talk us through what the clips, guys, and how you felt about each.
Where are you in the clips?
Indrek, you just hit Indrek.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think if you see from his, he hit me into the wall. Oh, you didn't have it. Yeah, there you go. He hit me into the wall. Oh, that's from my side, sorry. And then I just kind of slid into him. And then as I was getting back on, I think Gareth tagged my wheel. That's where I got the penalty. I didn't know whether I should have waited then. But yeah, my tyres were shafted by then. So I could only last a few more laps on those tyres and opted for 2 option stints from there, which was kind of rubbish. There was no doing well from there.
To be honest, when I followed you both into the tunnel, I thought this has got trouble written all over it. Just side by side, and I thought, yeah, something's going to go bad here. And I didn't even know it was you 2 at the time. But,
so obviously, being a very narrow track, overtaking was very limited. So strategy was one of the key factors in this race. What were you 2 thinking?
Well, before the race, I was going to go for option prime option, I think. Can't remember now. But or maybe 2 prime stints. I can't actually remember. But by the time I'd had that hit with Indrek, my tyres were so wrecked before I was going to pit. 5 laps before I was going to pit. 20 laps to go, I think. Primes wouldn't have taken me there, so I thought I'd just blast it on 2 option stops from there.
Yeah.
I just did the opposite to Rob. I was planning on pitting early, but saw a few guys doing it. Realised they were probably holding each other up, so I just played the long game. But I lost a lot of time on the lap before my end lap with Indrek. His tyres were totally shot. I couldn't get past him, so I was hoping to stay out and jump him, but I came out in 6th at the end of all the pit stops. So I was actually further back than I was before. So. But after that, it all sort of came together once Indrek and Rob crashed. I was in like free air and I could do my own thing, sort of thing. So it worked out in the end.
Yeah. So final results. We have Dean winning his 2nd race and in quite dominant fashion.
Oh, definitely.
23 seconds ahead of Amari, who obviously is going to win the title this year.
Well, that's what he keeps saying online. He's bigging himself up. He slagged both Gareths off, and Dean, he said, is a poor man's name. Yeah, he says he keeps saying he's underdog just to try and deflect the attention from himself. But yeah, online he's like got
He's having to go at everyone, isn't he? I also noticed on his little thing, on his little tag on his PSN.
his tag.
Yeah, have you seen what he says on it?
What?
It says TCAM equals assists. The cheeky beggar.
Yes, Amari.
He was almost had a warning for that, I tell you.
Well, you don't give them out lightly, Rob. You don't give them out lightly.
I don't, do I? Warnings.
Anyway, yeah, Gaza just about holding off Ben for the final spot on the podium. Then Rob in 5th. Gareth, another poor result for his standards, in 6th. Indrek dropping all the way down to 7th. Watching his video, he did have a very oversteery car. So that's obviously probably shot his tyres quite a bit.
Yeah.
He does an awful lot of practice on quali, but I don't know how much long stints he does. Also, when he pit, his strategy I think really worked out for him because he went straight for
2 option stints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was what won it for him.
And then he put 3 fastest laps in a row.
Yeah, give him some clean air.
Gave him some room to work with when he had to put the primes on.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a good call.
On the flip side, I spoke to Gareth as well, middle of the week, and I said, "Why did you finish 6th? Because that's pretty pathetic from you, really." I didn't really word it like that, but you know what I mean. And he just said that he just lacked pace all week, and yeah, he just couldn't get it together. And obviously, Cole didn't help him in the first early stages with the broken wing. He had no grip on the primes at the start, so he had to pit early for the options. And his race was ruined from there, really.
I think he was distracted a lot. There's been a lot of correspondence between him and Stephen Hawkins, so
yes,
apparently I think that's probably got under his skin. He plays a good mind game, does Hawkins?
Yeah.
It's the only game he can really play, though, isn't it?
Steve as well. I don't know what Steve was doing, being lapped. I can't remember ever seeing Steve be lapped before.
Yeah, he was quite a way off the pace.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to stop for an extra pit stop to let his girlfriend in again, as possible.
Who got fastest lap again?
Oh.
Anyway, what's next?
Stephen Hawkins got fastest lap, wasn't it?
It's me, actually.
Oh, was it?
Are we moving on?
Oh, well done, buddy. Well done.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, F1 Dragon picking up his first points as well. Yeah, so, Stephen, how do you think you would have done in that race?
I would have won, you crazy mofos.
He's arrogant, isn't he?
Yeah, arrogant Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah, obviously we wouldn't have suggested anything else because obviously he is Stephen Hawkins.
He's a bit pretentious though, isn't he? If someone comes from Cambridge talking in that American accent, it's a bit,
Well, he's been picking up the lingo like while he's been.
It's got that transatlantic accent going on.
It's on his keyboard, mate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Keeping on.
who do you think was your driver of the day?
Tough.
It has to be Dean for me.
Oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna go it to F1 Dragon for getting his first points of the season.
Sweet.
I'm only having to do it with 37 laps.
Judging from the footage that I watched, minus a few mistakes you had, I would have given it to Rob.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it was pretty.
Are you two sexually attached or something?
So what if we are? That's irrelevant.
Is this your coming out party or something?
I think if I got past Ben and not crashed into people or hit anything or driven faster than everyone else, I could have got a podium.
The drive of the day, if I've got past people and not crashed into people, I would have done that.
Yeah, it's a perfectly reasonable thing to say. Next.
Right.
Next.
Yeah. So, next part is the championship standings.
Yay!
And as we can see, Dean is dominating.
It's not really though.
No,
Not a lot.
14 points still. one of the biggest leads that's been had this season so far.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah. So Gareth drops down to second. Yeah, Gareth Williams, I think, stays in third. And Mara stays in fourth. Closing up a few points on Gareth. Rob and Ben, you're still in fifth and sixth. Well done. Making progress gradually.
Kind of, very close there, isn't it?
Catching you.
Yeah, just wait till you want to be let through, huh?
How am I supposed to let you pass in the most narrow track on the bloody calendar? You
Well, we'll soon see, won't we? Eh? What?
blithering idiot.
Yeah.
Next.
Two Spell Wizard didn't turn up. Carl crashed dramatically. Steve slowly dropping down the stand-ins is in ninth. Chris, me, Andy didn't turn up. Can't see who that is. Indrek
Yeah.
makes an appearance and comes in at 13. Jeremy, obviously reserve. Wexler didn't turn up. F1 Dragon making his first points of the season. Surely not going to be the last either.
No, I don't think so.
Fine effort.
Yep. So, shall we move on, or would you like to talk more?
I don't think there's much to say.
No.
It's just really close still, isn't it? It's like the top four seem to be like, well, whoever has a slight advantage can make it count. But yeah, it's going to be close all season, without doubt.
Yeah, me and Ben are better than I thought we would be at the beginning of the season, and we're kind of a little bit behind the top four and a little bit in front of the rest, so it could go either way for us.
We're called cameos, I think. We do like a cameo appearance every now and then in the top three.
Yeah. So Ferrari are back on top of the constructors. Good news for all.
Wow, good news for
Jonathan, you must be really proud of your efforts.
I am. I've been supporting him through these tough times. Well, it's hard to be at the front all the time, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must be. I don't know. Is that what he tells you?
No, it's what I told him. From obviously my many experiences at the front.
Look at the team on the move in third place. Look at them.
Yeah.
I think they're non-movers,
10
isn't they?
points. 10 points from the top. They really need a second driver, don't they? Or do
No, Dean's got this wrapped up. But when I come back, obviously, we will be head and shoulders above everyone.
the men to beat?
Or the man to beat at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much no one moved this week that I can see, apart from Ferrari going up one. Yeah, interesting stuff.
It's all very close again, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't realise there's only 10 points between the top three.
Yeah, we've been closing in pretty well lately.
Even the next three are pretty close as well. It's only 8 points between them.
I expect Force India to start leaping forward as well, with Carl and obviously Indrek as well. So
yeah,
they'll start pushing on.
Are you suffering with a bit of a cold at the moment, Ben?
Hey, I'm literally breathing out of my asshole right now.
That's not called breathing.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me.
Rob,
Yeah,
Rob,
you got a new sponsor this weekend, haven't you?
I got a new sponsor.
Who has?
Red
Me.
Bull.
What?
Pizza Hut.
All right. For the doughy goodness.
Yeah, they send you brilliant pizzas every time. They're freshly cooked.
Don't buy them from Mutley Plain. Don't buy them from Mutley Plain because they come to you raw.
Oh, did you, mate?
Don't order the deep pan. That's all I can say to you. In trust. Moving on.
Right, so yeah, next one is the
Round 7 preview.
It is, yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we are in Canada land.
What?
We're in Canada.
Canada.
That's it.
Canada land, yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that actually a word?
No,
That's 2 words, isn't it?
I just made it up.
Made it.
You can Google it if you want, but I wouldn't be that gullible.
Yeah, Canada. Not really looking forward to myself. The whole track limitations issue has been bugging us all week. We tried to have a bit of testing on some realistic rules, and with varied results. So we've decided to keep it at reduced and trust everyone's honesty.
It was shocking. I did try it with a couple of guys, and it's just beyond a joke. We were all sort of like doing the same lines, and some got penalties, some didn't even get a warning. I think Gareth tried to cut a corner on purpose. Once Stephen Hawkins let him down for 5 minutes, obviously. He did get a penalty. I followed his line and I got a drive-through, so it's a bit inconsistent to use, unfortunately.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not looking forward to it, but it's just one of those things. It's a pity we don't have the classic tracks to replace them with.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things.
I think it'd be a good close race either way, I think.
I don't know.
It's hard to cut the corners because the cars are so loose. So if you do kind of cut it too much, they get a bit sideways. So it's better to be smooth.
Yeah, it's literally the last corner, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, I'm finding it hard to get through that corner, letting them cut it. So.
Okay.
But it is normally a track that produces good close racing because obviously a lot of slipstreaming and hard braking.
Yeah. I think we see anything with a Mercedes engine and Ferrari engine go well.
Yeah, maybe not the Renaults.
Hey.
I know at least one of them ain't going to do too well. No names mentioned, but...
Did you mention some names?
Yeah, me, then. I don't think I'm going to do very well at all. I almost hope it rains.
I'm going to carry you again.
Well, let's just hope you don't need anyone to move over.
Oh, not this again. I told you he was bitter.
Right, anyway. So, who's...
Yes.
Predictions, go.
Someone will win.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that Dean is going to win this one. And I think Gareth's going to be up there. In fact, Gareth Mesham, going to be up there as well. And I think Amari as well. I think it's going to be the old threesome,
You?
so to speak.
I think Amari first because of his ego and his back, his back talking and all that. You know what he's like. He'll win.
And this would be a step closer to his championship, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, he's going to win it by. I think he said he's going to win it by Austria. So. I'm not sure how that's possible. Maybe there's double points or something.
It would have to be like quadruple points, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he gets bonus points. It's like Super Mario or something. Second, alright, I don't know where I'm going with that. Second, I will go Dean. Third, Gareth Mesham, if he's allowed out.
Obviously, yeah.
I'll go knock on Stephen's door and see if we'll let him out for the race.
I'm not sure because obviously I don't get to see anyone practice anymore. So I'm going to go for Dean, Gareth and Indrak.
Ooh. I forgot about Indrak.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he's the new Dean, isn't he? Really fast, but
yeah.
New Deanie.
Anything could happen. Yeah, the new Dean.
New Deanie.
New Dean.
The old Dean's become Gareth Mesham, and the Gareth Mesham's become... I don't know.
He's become the new Gareth Mesham. What's Stephen? What are your predictions on the race?
Sorry, I was recharging.
Steve?
I think I will win, with Gareth hanging from my keyboard. Then I don't care.
He's almost as arrogant as Mars.
He's self-absorbed, isn't he?
I didn't even think he was a reserve. Has he signed up? Anyway.
Well, I wouldn't want to mess with him, seeing as he has got Gareth at gunpoint. So.
I know what he's done. I know exactly what he's done.
Molested.
No, he's hacked podcast and he's replaced Gareth. That's what he's done.
Yeah, that's why we couldn't get hold of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so... shall we do behind the visor or 60 seconds? Seeing as Stephen is our guest, it can only be him.
Yeah. Behind the keyboard with Stephen Hawkins. Right. So Ben, have you got any questions lined up for Steve?
What PSI do you put in your tyres?
Enough to make them round.
Okay, Stephen, very interesting. Steve, do you use KERS on a daily basis with your home setup?
Don't call me Steve, and what kind of question is that?
So, Steve, how come you still sound like a robot from the 1970s, and how come you haven't updated your voice thing? Because, you know, some pretty good voice things on the market at the moment, you know?
It would make you sound a lot more sexy.
Yeah, even Google sounds pretty sexy.
We could like get a George Clooney voice.
Yeah, or Homer Simpson. How good would that be? Talking about black holes and speed of light as Homer Simpson.
This black holes thing.
I don't need a new voice. I don't need swagger. All the bitches come to me.
Yeah, great question, Rob. Yeah, that was a good answer too. But Stephen, I've often wondered how you managed around Monaco without front and rear downforce. Did you find it was a disadvantage at all? Or, be interested in your comments.
I do have wings, but you mofos are too far behind to see it.
Okay, Steve. Yeah. Another thing. What? How did you feel about being thrown into the Red Bull swimming pool? You know.
After your emphatic victory.
Yeah. You know, chair and all.
I was not amused. It ruined my equipment. However, the electricity electrocuted the rest of your team, so I had the last laugh. Wahahahahahaha, you shitheads.
Any more questions, guys, for Stephen?
No, that's it. I have had enough of your shit. You uncouth, vexatious pricks. I thoroughly despise you all. I am leaving now. So long, fuckers.
Right, so thank you, Stephen, for your
Yes, thank you very
for
much
your time and abuse.
Thanks.
Yeah, so we're going to finish on Overtake of the Week, as per usual. And in third place, we have Dean on Indrek, I think.
So it was a DRS move.
Oh, no, it's Amari.
Oh, Dean clipped the barrier and Amari just steams up the inside. Oh, that was close. Yeah.
Ben, talk us through a second one.
Okay, I'm waiting for it. Oh, God. It's Rob, and I don't know what he's doing. He's gone into turn one a bit deep, and... Ooh, who's this? Oh, it's Gaza.
Yeah.
Flying around the outside. Leaves him a little bit room, but we've got tight, but two class drivers there working their magic.
Rob, last
Hello,
one.
yes. Oh, I saw a bit of a kerfuffle between these guys, and I kind of saw a gap and took it and kept my line into the first corner.
Hang on.
That means I won again, doesn't it?
Overtake of the week, driver of the day, and what was the fastest lap, Rob? What the hell is this?
And I also win most selfish teammate of the week as well.
Why was that? Because I was the selfishness person in.
I don't want to keep harping on about it, but
Might have mentioned it one or two times, mate.
Anyway.
Mate, if you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah.
So me and you are last quite a lot.
Oh yeah, so that's something else I won. Cool.
Thanks.
Right. So, have you guys stopped handbagging?
I never started.
So, we'll let you two finish, but we'll let you finish after this, as we are now going to the next place, which is Canada. Yeah, so well done to Dean on his second victory of the season. Well done to Rob on all of his achievements this weekend.
Thank you very much.
And yeah, see you next week.
Yeah.
Toodle pip.
Yes, goodbye, everybody.
Good night.